Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. It's that time. I'm going to do some NFL picks and predictions. Week 12 is officially upon us. We have some really good games. Teams are starting to separate themselves from one another. Leading up to the playoffs, now's the time you want to get some momentum, stay hot leading up to that playoff time. We're going to go over all 14 of our games this coming weekend, the Sunday games, the Thursday game, the Monday game, and we're going to predict the winners, losers, and the final score. We'll also take an in-depth look at our best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-under. Spreads have been moving since the week started. We have the new updated spreads out right now, so we'll make sure to touch on that. First things first, though, before we get started, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment down below. Who do you think is going to win these games? What's your favorite game coming up this weekend? What's your favorite prediction for the weekend? Drop it in the comment section. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out the pinned comment below. Let's not waste time. Let's jump right into it. Naturally, of course, the very first game that we're going to be looking at is going to be our Thursday night game, Thursday, November 20th, 8:15 p.m. This is the prime video game, the 7-3 Buffalo Bills. Don't forget, 2 weeks ago, they just lost the Dolphins, actually got handled by the Dolphins. So anything is possible. They got things back on track this past weekend, got a good W. They'll be on the road versus the number one statistical defense in the NFL, the 5-5 Houston Texans. But the big question around the Texans is CJ Stroud going to be playing this game? Without him, it's gonna be really tough for them to get the W here. With him, it still would have been tough because their offense hasn't really been moving the ball. Houston, 47.7% chance to win. Buffalo, 51.9. So practically a 50-50 split with the fan vote. Very close game here. Could be a pick 'em. Buffalo's 5.5 point favorites. 43.5 over under. The Bills, obviously, the reigning MVP award winner, kind of forcing things this season because you got to get that offense going. But overall, very efficient over the last couple years. 2,500 yards, 18 touchdowns, 7 picks, and we all know what he can do with his legs extending plays. One of the strongest arms. He's always keeping his eye looking down the field. Cook's having a great season. 1,000 yards rushing, 7 rushing touchdowns. They don't have that true wide receiver number one. That's really the main thing holding this team back from taking it to the next level. But hey, the Chiefs might be out of the picture. This might finally be the Bills season. They're averaging 29.2 points a game, throwing for 240, running for 148, giving up 22.9 points a game. In Houston, 22 points a game, throwing for 222, running for 108, giving up 16.3 points a game. That's what separates this team from other teams is that defense at defensive front seven. They're only giving up 171 through the air, solid secondary, only 87.1 on the ground, even better front seven. Can they force the Bills into third and long situations? But let's just call it like it is. Josh Allen, he's perfectly fine getting put in third and long. The guy can make the first down at any time, throwing it, running it, whatever he has to do. I kind of had this game being a little closer in my very first video that came out this week. But the more that I thought about it, as the days go by, getting less clarity around CJ Stroud. So I got to go with the Bills to own it. Buffalo wins this one 28-17. And moving on to our Sunday slate, November 23rd, 1 p.m. on Fox, the 4-6 Minnesota Vikings. The issue for the Vikings has been the quarterback position. They have the playmakers. They have Mason, Justin Jefferson, some might say the best wide receiver in the NFL. It's the quarterback. Wentz is out. J.J. McCarthy, yes, he can extend plays with his legs. He's avoiding sacks, but he has about a 50% completion percentage rate. That's not going to cut it in the NFL. Their defense isn't bad, but they need the offense to get some first downs. They're on the road versus the 6-3-1 Green Bay Packers. Packers are good, but which version of the Packers shows up? Sometimes they lose at home, they get the crap kicked out of them. Then the very next week, they look like a Super Bowl caliber team. So we've seen the ups, we've seen the downs. They just kind of give us something in the middle, and they can easily win this one. Green Bay, 71.6% chance to win. Minnesota, 28.2. Packers, 6.5 point favorites. 41.5 over under. Jordan Love. He's going to have to play a nice, clean game here. Josh Jacobs probably not going to have him. Minnesota, 21.8 points a game, throwing for 193. Running for 103, giving up 23.2 points a game. Green Bay on the other side. All around good roster, 24 points a game, throwing for 231, running for 114, giving up 19.4. That's kind of what separates them. They have the defense. Jordan Love can have a really good game. He's not a dual threat quarterback, but he will run. If you leave it there, the guy can take off and get a first down. But it's the front seven, only giving up 96.8 on the ground. Quarterback's best friend is a rushing attack. J.J. McCarthy, if you take the rush game away from him, you're forcing J.J. into third and long situations. That's not where he wants to live. Give me Green Bay at home. They win this one 26-17. And then on Fox at 1 p.m., the 2-9 New York Giants. The Giants just complete overhaul the season. So many injuries. They lost Jackson Dart. They lost Scotty. They lost Neighbors. Robinson's been really good this season, but they need some type of consistency on the offense side. Obviously, Dayball's been fired, but let's just call it like it is. Dayball probably should have been fired 2 years ago when he got rid of Saquon Barkley, and then Daniel Jones. What he's doing on the Colts makes Dayball look really bad right now. They'll be on the road versus the 6-4 Detroit Lions. The Lions need a win very badly, especially after that loss this past weekend. They need some type of momentum. Very talented team, one of the best overall offensive rosters in the NFL. They can score points with anyone. The defense has to play better. The offense has to play better, though. They need to play collectively. Whenever the offense has a bad game, the defense plays well, and vice versa. They're never on the same page at the same time. Lions 69.4% chance to win. The Giants 30.4. Detroit 10.5 point favorites. Pretty big spread for a pro game. 49.5 over under. Jameis Winston getting the nod for the New York Giants more than likely. The guy's a straight up gunslinger, but at this point of his career, you know what Jameis Winston is. He could have 3-4 touchdowns. He could have 3 to 4 interceptions. So what version of him shows up? They're averaging 21.5, throwing for 209, running for 125, getting up 27.3 points a game, 225 through the air, 147 on the ground. Not the best rush defense. The Lions, 29.2 points a game, throwing for 237, running for 130, giving up 21.6. They have Goff. When Goff is on, he's definitely on. 2,500 yards, 21 touchdowns, 4 picks. He's very efficient, but he needs time. He does not play good under pressure. That offensive line has to hold up. They have Gibbs, Montgomery, St. Brown. Laporta was banged up last week, but overall, they have playmakers at every single position on the offense, giving Detroit rebounding, getting a good win here. They win 34-20. 1 p.m. on Fox, the 7-3 Seattle Seahawks, one of the best all-around teams in the NFL. They have the offense, the defense, they can throw it, they can run it. Coming off that really close loss versus the Rams, where's their headspace here? How do they respond? Do they respond with a letdown, potentially losing this one on the road, or do they rally the wagons, get everything back on track? Because this team is talented. This team is a Super Bowl caliber team this year. Thankfully for them, they're on the road versus the worst team in the NFL, the perfect team you'll want to rebound with, the 1-9 Tennessee Titans. Tennessee 23.7% chance to win. Seattle 76.1. Seahawks 13-point favorites. Huge spread. 40.5 over under. Sam Darnold. A lot of turnovers this season, but he definitely has picked things up where he left off last year with the Vikings. 2,600 yards, 17 touchdowns, 10 picks. Walker, Charbonnet, deep running back room. Jackson Smith-Njigba, the best wide receiver in the NFL statistically this season. Almost 1,200 yards, 5 touchdowns. He has like a 200 to 300 yard lead on the next closest guy. Just having a great season so far. On the other side, Tennessee, the offensive line stinks. The wide receivers can't catch the ball. They can't hold on to the ball. They're putting a lot of pressure on first round pick Cam Ward. I can't fault Ward. He can only do so much. Tennessee as a whole, the roster, and they have to step up to help their rookie. Seattle 29.4 points a game, throwing for 249, running for 116, giving up 19.3 points a game, only 93.5 on the ground. Great rush defense, and Tennessee does not run the ball well anyways. Titans 14.3 points a game, bottom two offense in the NFL, throwing for 164, running for 79. They can't throw it, they can't run it, and they're giving up 27.3 points a game. Not that the defense is bad, they're just on the field the entire game, and with the turnovers, they get put in a really rough field position. Give me the Seahawks rebounding with the win, 27-16. CBS at 1 p.m. This is a really good one. One of the best games of the weekend. The 8-2 Indianapolis Colts, one of the best teams in the NFL so far this season. Who would have thought, preseason wise, that the Colts, with all the cast offs they have, everything just would have come together and formed a really good team. They have an offense. They can throw, they can run, they play defense. They're on the road here. One of the toughest places to play, Arrowhead Stadium, versus the runner ups to the Super Bowl. That doesn't sound good, but they technically are the runner ups to the Super Bowl. The 5-5 Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs, they need a win so bad. They're on the verge of dropping back below 500. This is not where they saw themselves preseason. But I said the entire preseason, this team's gotten too old. They don't have a great running back. They don't have a true wide receiver number one. That's what's limiting this team because Patrick Mahomes is actually having a really good year. KC at home, 61.2% chance to win. The Colts, 38.5. There's no doubt the Colts are the better team, but this is the type of game that you know that the Chiefs would usually win this type of game. Coming off of a pretty crappy performance, they're due for a win. KC, 3.5 point favorites. 50.5 over under. On the Colts side, Daniel Jones, he's out there looking like luck. 2,700 yards, 15 touchdowns, 7 picks. He will run the ball. He will take off. He will run. He's going to pressure that Chiefs front seven. That's their strength, though. Jones, that front seven, getting pressure on the quarterback. Can they bottle him up and keep him in the pocket? Can they control Jonathan Taylor? He might be the MVP so far this season. Almost 1,200 rushing yards, 15 rushing touchdowns. Could break the all-time rushing record this year. Saquon Barkley ran for 2,000 last year. This year, Jonathan Taylor could run for 25 rushing touchdowns. Crazy stuff. On the other side, Patrick Mahomes, 2,700 yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 picks. Travis Kelsey back leading things in the receiving room. The wide receiver core, Worthy, Brown, Rice, you guys got to step up and help him out. Colts, 32.1 points a game, throwing for 252, running for 145, 20.6 points a game. Casey, 25.4 points a game, throwing for 249, running for 115, only giving up 18.1 points a game. They have a good defense. They're at home. Those things are leaning in the Chiefs' favor. I could easily see them winning this one, but I'm going to go upset here. Give me the Colts on the road. They win a close one, 24-23. And another fun one. This one could have been a really fun one had Joe Burrow been healthy. We would have been two of the better younger quarterbacks in the NFL. Burrow versus Drake May. We were robbed of that. We have a very young quarterback versus the oldest quarterback in the NFL, Flacco. Either way, 1 p.m. on CBS. The 9-2 New England Patriots, highest amount of wins in the NFL right now. The Patriots. This isn't Bill Belichick. This isn't Tom Brady. This is Vrabel and Drake May, and this team is looking good. Foxborough fans, you have to be so happy. The Patriots fans, you guys are so spoiled. You got Bill Belichick leaves. You got so many Super Bowls from him. Vrabel comes in. He has resurrected the Patriots brand. It is a good thing to watch, though. They're on the road versus the 3-7 Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati 39.8 points a game. New England 59.8. Drake May 2,900 yards, 20 touchdowns, 5 picks. He's also ran for like 3 to 5 rushing touchdowns. Henderson, Diggs, the veteran Diggs, he has resurrected his youth this season. Great year, almost 700 receiving yards. The other side, one of the best wide receiver cores in the nation, Chase. He's got all the stuff going on. Not going to be playing this game. Higgins, but Joe Flacco, no matter who you put out there, the guy might be like 58 years old, but he still has the arm. He'll still push the ball vertically down the field. Bengals will get some points, but they have to get points. That defense is one of the worst in the NFL, if not the worst back-to-back seasons. They're going to give up a boatload of points. So the only way for them to win is virtually in a shootout. Patriots, 26.5 points a game. Oh, and they're 8-point favorites, 49 over under. New England, 26.5 points a game, throwing for 244, running for 113, giving up 18.7. They have the offense, they have the defense, only 84.7 on the ground. But the Bengals, they don't run it anyways. Cincinnati, 22.8 points a game, throwing for 226, only running for 81.4, giving up 33.4 points a game. Check these numbers out. 257.3 through the air, awful secondary. 160.9 on the ground. That is as bad of a front seven as it gets. Patriots, they're going to be able to score at will. Give me New England winning this one 32-20. CBS at 1 p.m. The 6-4 Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a team that could actually potentially make the playoffs this season. Will they win the Super Bowl? Probably not. They have the veteran Aaron Rodgers. He's not Green Bay Packers Rodgers, but he's definitely not Jets Rodgers. He's actually having a really good season so far. 2,000 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, 7 picks. But he has that fracture to his left wrist. As of right now, they're saying he will be playing this coming Sunday. Keep your eye on that. That could change. I don't trust anything these teams say because we all know how it works. They're supposed to play Sunday, and they never suit up. They're just sitting on the sideline. So let's wait to see what happens. But as of right now, he's playing. But will he be at 100%? What happens if he gets tackled? DK Metcalf, though, having a great season so far. On the other side, they're playing the 7-3 Chicago Bears. The Bears, are they truly as good as their 7-3 record? Probably not. But this team can score some points. They give up a buttload of points, but they can score with anyone. Caleb Williams, much improved over where he was last season. 2,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 picks. He's keeping the happy feet down. He's finding his receivers, Swift, Odunze. Moore has been banged up, but he's got legit veterans there that he can rely on. Chicago, 50.1% chance to win. Pittsburgh, 49.5. Practically a 50-50 split right down the middle with the fan vote. The Bears are 3-point favorites, 45 over under. Steelers, 24.6 points a game. Throwing for 199, only running for 88.2. Got to get those rush yards up, giving up 23.2 points a game. This is not your typical Tomlin defense. Are they serviceable? Yes. Do they need to be better? Yes. On the other side, Chicago, 25.8 points a game, throwing for 227, running for 147. So a pretty decently balanced offense, giving up 26.4 points a game. They give up points here. If Rodgers plays, Steelers have a shot. But with the question marks, I hate the unknown in these games. I got to go with the known. I know what I'm getting with the Bears because we don't know if you know what's going to happen with Rodgers. Chicago wins this one 27-23. CBS at 1 p.m. The 2-8 New York Jets. How the Jets got 2 wins, the world may never know, but at least they got 2 wins. That's a start for them. So many issues on offense. This offense, Justin Fields, he's been benched a couple times. They can't throw the ball. You can't win if you're that one-dimensional. They're on the road versus the 5-5 Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens have no option. They cannot drop this game. They have to take every single gimme win. They've clawed their way back to 500. They're finally back to 500. Lamar Jackson's healthy. Now they have an opportunity here to get to 6-5, finally get over that hurdle, get that momentum second half, climb back into the playoff hunt. Baltimore 79.7% chance to win. New York 20.2. The Ravens 13.5 point favorites, 44.5 over under. On the other side, Brees Hall's been banged up this season. Garrett Wilson's been banged up. Fields just can't hit anyone open. Not open doesn't matter. The Jets 20.9 points a game, throwing for 140, running 140. That's pretty bad. Running for 142, getting a 26.8 points a game. On the other side, the Ravens, a stacked offensive roster. Now that their general's back on the field, this offense can really take off. Lamar Jackson, 15 touchdowns, 3 picks. They have Henry, Flowers, Andrews, likely 25.2 points a game, throwing for 180, running for 142, giving up 25.1 points a game. They don't have the best defense, but they do have one of the best offenses. Give me Baltimore winning this one 30-17. Next game coming up 4:05 p.m. on CBS. The 6-4 Jacksonville Jaguars. Don't look now. The Jags might actually make the playoffs this season. They are definitely in the hunt. Cohen, he's got this team firing. The defense is aggressive. Great front seven. They create a lot of turnovers, havoc in the backfield, and the offense. Trevor Lawrence not having a good season, but at least he's a little more decisive than usual this year. They're on the road versus the 3-7 Arizona Cardinals. They have injury concerns. They have quarterback issues. They don't want Kyler Murray taking another snap this season. They actually probably want to get rid of him. Arizona, 46.8% chance to win. The Jacksonville Jaguars, 52.8. So pretty close to a 50-50. The Jags, 2.5 point favorites, 47.5 over under. How about Travis Etienne this season? Almost 800 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns. They have Tootin. Great 1-2 combo. Brian Thomas hasn't played in some time. That's a massive loss. But Jacoby Myers looks like a steal through the trading portal. The Jags, 24 points a game, throwing for 199, running for 128, giving up 22.6 points a game. But it's that rush defense playing really solid on the ground, taking the run game away from Arizona. If it's Jacoby Brissett, he's going to have to beat them with his arm. Can it be done? Yes. Texans just did it 2 weeks ago, but it's easier said than done. Arizona 22.4 points a game, throwing for 228, running for 106, giving up 25.6. The Jags keep that momentum going. It's working right now. Stay aggressive, keep your foot on the gas. Jacksonville wins this one 28-21. And this next game is not a game anyone's going to have fun calling because it's basically a who's going to stink the least wins this game. 4:05 p.m. on CBS. The 2-8 Cleveland Browns. Oh, the Browns. The Browns, just so many rough seasons on paper. Very good defense. Miles Garrett and guys, great front seven. They get after it, but they're on the field the entire game. Their offense cannot get first downs, puts them in really difficult situations. You have Shador Sanders getting the nod. He's going to be starting this game. The Dylan Gabriel concussion protocol. So all eyes on Sanders. Will he show out this matchup? They're on the road versus the 2-8 Las Vegas Raiders. Thankfully for him, he's going up against the Raiders. So they actually have a shot to win this one. Las Vegas, 63.8% chance to win. Cleveland, 35.9. Raiders are 3-point favorites. 37 over under. So Vegas sees 0 runs being scored. Sorry, 0 points being scored, basically. Cleveland only 16.2 points a game. Both these teams bottom 5 offenses in the NFL. It is going to be painful to watch. If this game is on, if there's another game on, whatever you're watching it on, watch the other game. This game is going to be brutal. No matter what the outcome is there actually a true winner to this game? I don't know. Cleveland throwing for 159, rushing for 98, giving up 23.4 points a game. Only 167 through the air because that defense can create some havoc in the backfield. Las Vegas, 15.5 points a game, throwing for 188, running for 81.4, giving up 25.3. Neither of these teams play defense. Neither play offense either. Geno Smith, just like Jameis Winston, how many interceptions will you have? We have 3 touchdowns. We have 3 picks. We don't know which version is going to show up. Gentry, got to get things going on the ground. Las Vegas is the better roster to me, but both of these teams stink right now. Very difficult game. Give me the Browns. At least I know what I'm getting with that defense. Cleveland wins 23-17. Fox at 4:25 p.m. These teams loathe one another. It's going to be a fun game to watch. The 8-2 Philadelphia Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champs, on the road, and they're starting to get a lot of momentum right now, playing really good football on the road versus the 4-5-1 Dallas Cowboys, coming fresh off a win Monday night. One of the best offenses in the NFL, but this defense, it is really atrocious here. They will give up points to the Eagles, but their offense can outscore anyone in the NFL. They're at home, Jerry World. Dallas 44.4% chance to win. Philadelphia 55.2. The Eagles, one of the best top to bottom rosters in the NFL. Philadelphia, 3.5 point favorites, 49.5 over under. Jalen Hurts keeping the turnovers down. Not the most accurate quarterback this season, but they're winning. They have the tush push. Is there a lot of false starts in there? Yes, but they still have the tush push. 16 touchdowns, one pick, 2,000 passing yards. Saquon Barkley, not having the season he had last year. Not he's not running for 2,000, but just get the 1,000 this season. Open up the rushing attack. They're only running for 115 a game. Last year, they were running for 187. So you see, they've come down quite a ways. They got to get things back on track, but they have Smith. They have Brown. The other side, Dallas, 29.6 points a game, throwing for 259, running for 120, giving up 29.3 points a game. Like I was saying, this defense really has no good qualities to it. They can't stop anything. They can't stop the pass. They can't stop the run. Dak Prescott, great season, 2,600 yards. They can run the ball this year. They couldn't run it last season. Williams closing in on 900 yards, 8 rushing touchdowns, has completely changed this offense. Pickens, Lamb, one of the best, if not the best 1-2 wide receiver combo in the NFL. Dallas can pull off the upset. They have the offense. Whenever you can score like that quickly, you always have a puncher's chance. But I'm going to go with the better defensive team. Give me the Eagles win this one 28-24. Keep your eye on it. It's a game that could go either way. 4:25 p.m. on Fox, the 3-7 Atlanta Falcons. The big news, Michael Penix is out for the rest of the season. So the highest paid backup in the NFL, Kirk Cousins, he's going to be getting the nod. Falcons fans, you might laugh at that, but what I will say is this, Kirk Cousins, he never plays good in prime time, but it's not nighttime yet. This is Kirk Cousins' time. The sun is still out. That's actually when he plays good. Whenever the sun goes down, he's throwing 3 picks. But this guy, he's a veteran, experienced quarterback. That's an asset to have in this situation. They're on the road versus the 2-8 New Orleans Saints. Also, don't forget the Falcons. You're not going to have London. London almost 900 yards receiving, massive loss. That has led to the Saints being the Vegas favorites in this game. New Orleans 45.4% chance to win. Atlanta 54.3. The Saints 1.5 point favorite. So it's basically a pick 'em. 39.5 over under. Bijan Robinson. He's going to have to carry this team on his back. 800 yards rushing. He's also going to have to catch the ball at the backfield. Falcons, 19.5 points a game. Throwing for 213, running for 120, giving up 23.9. New Orleans, the offense is pretty bad. 15.5 points a game. Throwing for 204, running for 93, giving up 25 points a game. It's not that they have a bad offensive roster. Olave, Cooks, Kamara, the quarterback position, Rattler, Shaw, the cycle of those guys coming in and out to have a chance to win here. They can capitalize and take advantage of the Falcons and their injuries. But I'm feeling Kirk Cousins in here. He saves the day this one game. The Falcons win it 24-17. Our second to last game of the weekend, NBC 8:20 p.m. The 6-4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield. What a season he had last year. Completely led this team. Had a great season throwing the ball up and down the field. He's picked up where he left off last season. He's having another great season. They've had so many injuries this season. White, Irving, Egbuka, Evans, Godwin, all those guys have been out at some point. Still, they're 6-4. Baker Mayfield, one of the best passing quarterbacks this year, 2,400 yards, 17 touchdowns, only 3 picks. Even with all the stars out, only 3 interceptions. He's being efficient. He's being careful. Just give him a warm body. He will get them the ball in space. They're going up against, though, what might be one of the best teams, if not the best all-around team in the NFL, the 8-2 LA Rams. The Rams, they have veterans. They have young guys. They have offense. They have defense. They have a 64.2% chance to win. The Bucks 35.5. LA 6.5 point favorites. 49.5 over under. How about Stafford? Stafford's had better passing yardage seasons, but I do think this is his most efficient season of his very long career. 2,600 yards, 27 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. Williams is having a great season. They have Nakua, one of the most electrifying players in the NFL. Tampa Bay, 25.2 points a game. Throwing for 222, running for 110, giving up 25. LA, 27.2 points a game, top 6 offense. Throwing for 247, running for 114, only giving up 17.2 points a game, top 6 defense as well. They get after it. They're at home. They're cruising right now. Bucks have the offense to make it competitive, maybe even pull off a close upset. But give me the Rams at home, 30-24. And our final game to wrap up Week 12, some Monday Night Football. 8:15 p.m. ESPN, 6-5 Carolina Panthers. Give this team a shout out. They finished last season really hot. Started out this season kind of slow, then picked up right where they left off last season. They're over 500 this year. Good thing, Panthers fans. You guys deserve it. You've hung in there. Really good football team on the road versus the 7-4 San Francisco 49ers. Just like the Bucks, so many injuries, and yet they sit here 3 games above 500. give Christian McCaffrey so much praise. He's been carrying this team. He's been the healthiest person on the 49ers this season. He's always the banged up guy. He's carrying this team almost 800 rushing, almost 800 receiving, could get a thousand yard season. San Francisco, 73% chance to win. Carolina, 26.8. The 49ers, 6.5 point favorites, 48.5 over under. Bryce Young, if you give him a decent running game, the guy can work the play action. He's got Dowdle closing in on 900 yards. McMillan, really good first round draft pick. Carolina's 18.8 points a game, throwing for 187, running for 127. You got 22.6 points a game, which is 13 points better than last season's defense. 49ers, 23.7 points a game, throwing for 255, running for 94.8. Got to get those rush yards up, giving up 22.9. The San Francisco 49ers, they're at home. I think they have the far better overall roster. They also have the better defense. 49ers win this one 27-20. So, guys, that's a wrap. That's all of our Week 12 NFL matchups. We went through all of them. Thanks for sticking with us. Make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. What's your favorite game coming up this weekend? Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to pull off the upsets? Drop it in the comment section. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, make sure to check out that pinned comment down below. And as always, thank you guys for watching.